My name's Alison Gwilt and I'm a reader in Fashion and Sustainability in the Art and Design Research Centre at Sheffield Hallam University. I'm the project leader for a study called Make, Do and Mend, an interdisciplinary study that has been exploring what people know and think about repairing clothes. We conducted a variety of workshops within the community, and these were practical community workshops where we actually presented people with a damaged garment, either a pair of jeans or a t-shirt, and we gave them 2 hours to try and repair the garment so it became wearable again.
My name is Daniela Petrelli. I'm Professor of Interaction Design, and my interest is in seeing how people engage with the making of material and digital objects. In the Make, Do and Mend we had different workshops with 2 different types of people, the novice and the expert. By comparing these 2 groups, we were able to see how the skills the person has impact on their ability to be creative in mending their own clothes.
The participants were allowed to choose from a variety of resources to use, which included things like using the computer, books, various art equipment and craft materials to actually repair the garment. The workshop participants came from a real variety of backgrounds, didn't they? The men and women were actually quite different in their approach to their mending. Particularly I found the women were quite creative in their work. They were quite keen to involve colours and textures. They took quite a decorative approach. Whereas I think the men were very keen on invisible repair strategies, weren't they? So by the time we'd finished with those workshops, we couldn't really see any of the repair work at all, whereas these are quite different.
It was probably difficult to have an invisible repair of this one, but I find it very interesting the way this person managed to combine different type of fabric with a bit of design. And then you can see it is an expert participant. She thought about reinforcing the border because it was the bottom of the trousers.
It's also quite interesting that the hole is still visible. I mean, we can see the damage, can't we? Whereas this approach is quite different. Underneath this patch is a hole, but the participant has put over a piece of cloth and then provided or added these decorative sequins. What was interesting about this piece was that the participant used the internet to learn how to do a blanket stitch that is being seen around the outside of this patch. So, you know, they learnt a new process whilst they were in the workshop and then applied it there and then. For some people, repairing can mean turning the garment into something quite new. Here it's been sort of repurposed or reconfigured into another type of garment. So what was a pair of jeans has now been turned into a skirt, so you can see the piece has been added here.
This is another example. There was a little hole behind here, so the person who came with these didn't have any previous knowledge of how to mend it, but started the process first to fix the hole and then thinking about some creative pattern.
I know the participant is still wearing this cardigan. She actually took it away from the workshop.
The more expert people, they actually were less keen on experimenting with things. They had a very clear idea of what repairing was. They all wanted to do an invisible repair, while you could be much more creative and change completely the garment and do something different using the same fabric. So creativity seems to be independent from skills, not building on top of skills.
It's been a really fascinating project to study. We've had an overwhelmingly positive response from the community. There's been much interest in the study, and I think it's very timely given the environmental concerns, particularly with fashion clothing and waste. There are many possibilities for the future. The ideas and potential from our local communities could help drive a new fashion industry, and that's something that we find quite interesting.